Be live. What is up, folks? Episode 12?
I think it's 12. Is that right?
3 months.
You said it was 12, but it feels like 14.
3 months
15.
in.
And I missed one.
Yeah. Skyless is back. Well, we're doing another pretty much last minute, you let me know that.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have to work and
Yeah.
got out.
Lucky you.
Yep. But I still have no PC, so I had to drive over to Kale's house.
I think people like this style based off of what people were saying. So maybe we need to get like cross counter TV, sit down on a couch, do a show. Current topic
Instead of our awesome backdrop.
Yeah, our backdrop, which is blocking my daughter's name on the back of my wall. I should show you guys that one day. So this week we're drinking, obviously, on the show. Won't get crazy. We promise you. Won't get crazy. I'm gonna close that.
Drink for every time I'm the bearer of bad news. Is that have something negative to say then every time?
So so far we have Gears Judgment DLC, Call to Arms. It's the map pack. We have Injustice, Gods Among Us. I'm going to be talking about that. Colin has been playing Halo. I left it empty. So I know you've been playing a little bit. They have the rank system in and all that stuff. I believe. So,
yeah, the CSR's in there. Doing some balance changes next week, I think, or maybe the week after. They're still testing it, from what I understand.
Okay.
But
so, yeah, we'll be talking about that. And both of us actually watched some different tournament events over the weekend. There
was a lot of tournaments this weekend.
There was a ton.
Yeah.
I watched Tribes, which that seems really weird, but I just felt like watching Tribes this weekend, so I watched that. And you told me you watched Firefall.
I watched Firefall, I watched a little bit of League, and I watched some Dota 2.
I saw some StarCraft too. I should mention that.
Yeah, that's the one thing I missed.
That was on this
G was doing the
weekend.
LCS, or not LCS, WCS?
I don't know.
Fuck,
Man, there's too many acronyms.
I know. It's too much to keep track of.
Craziness.
It was Blizzard's League. It was kicked off.
And I saw
tournament.
Sundance kind of tweeting about some of the issues they had.
Yeah, they tried to run a 512-man online bracket in a day, I believe, or 2 days.
Come on.
Online.
It was ambitious, Sonny. It was ambitious, but that ain't happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about competitive gaming world. I know you guys want to hear my thoughts because Colin doesn't actually have the DLC, I don't think. But we just looked at two of the map walkthroughs on Boneyard and Blood Drive, and Colin's comments were gold. So let's get into that. So the Judgment DLC dropped today. I believe Pete tweeted that it went live at 9 a.m., something like that for my time. So it's like 10 a.m. Eastern. I don't know what that is worldwide, UTC, but you guys can do it. If you were online at the time and downloaded it, you probably have already played it. If you haven't, I know some people still probably getting home from work, whatever, haven't quite gotten that DLC. But with the DLC, there's 3 maps. 2 are traditional multiplayer maps. We have a Blood Drive remake, Boneyard, which is a mausoleum. I'm going to say an essence of mausoleum, has the same vibe, but it's
it looks kind of like mausoleum, like cut in half and altered, obviously.
You know, the funny thing is that people were like, "Hey, that looks kind of like Haven's layout." And after looking at it, I was
similar.
like,
"Yeah,
yeah, it does." Kind
just
of looks
instead of being cut and then stretched, it's just the circle.
Exactly. So
less vertical.
There's some similarities between, I guess, Haven and Mausoleum on Boneyard, and the map I haven't even looked at yet is Terminal, which is an overrun map. And the only reason that I haven't looked at it yet is because when the map pack released, I actually did all that, and I did live commentary walkthroughs on the maps. I did one game of Mastered Arms, so that's another thing. It's a game type, and then I did basically live com walkthroughs, and then went to work in an hour. So I was like busting ass, and then I left, and I didn't get to play Terminal or do anything like that. So I don't know what that map looks like. It looks pretty cool. I'll probably get some.
I thought visually, I just watched the walkthrough that IGN did and looked at some of the screenshots. Visually, it looks
pretty good.
Really good. They have the crash train in the corner of the map, flaming and stuff.
Yeah.
And for Gears, there haven't really been that many set piece type environments where there's been something really cool.
I'm trying to think. Raven Down.
I'd say the best probably Rustlong, where you had the you actually see the Raven landing on the helipad, and it makes the adjustment.
Yeah.
It was off the map though, so most people never even noticed it. But
yeah. You know what? You remember that match we were in there, and
I didn't notice it the 50th time I was playing the map.
We were all like,
yeah.
What
actually,
is that?
It's probably hundreds of times playing the map, and then all of a sudden I was watching. I was like, "What's that noise?" And I look up, and I just see the.
All of us stopped what we were doing, and we're like,
just watching it.
Oh my
god!
But
yeah, it's not that big of a thing for gears
Yeah,
to
it's
have
not.
that kind of stuff. So I thought it looked really cool.
And then
It's
Blood Drive
overall.
now has the bullet train going through the top of the station.
Yeah,
actually.
I saw the videos.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
Halo did it first.
Did they?
Both with the old...
Tyro Station? What about Tyro Station?
I don't know, because before that there was...
2006.
Shit, what's the map name? Now I'm not going to remember it.
Tyro. Until you figure out the name, I'm going with Tyro Station.
It wasn't called Terminal, was it? Yeah, it was called Terminal.
Tyro Station.
I think it was Terminal in Halo.
Tyro Station did.
But yeah, they had the train coming through, and it could hit you. And I think that was Halo 3?
That's 2007.
Halo 2? No, it had
Don't
Halo
try to
3.
go-
It was Halo 3.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
I guess Tyro Station wins it.
That's what I thought. All right, so thoughts on? I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, they say Halo 2.
Halo. Damn it.
Means I win.
No. Fuck. All right, so with the DLC, obviously we got some remakes. We're going to get into several different things. This is probably going to spawn into a little bit of a tangent here and rant, but Blood Drive, what'd you think after seeing my walkthrough?
Looks gigantic. Like, they took every single part of the map and stretched it out more.
Yeah.
And in the case of the top of the base, they just, like, built it out entirely. So it's basically like adding another half of a map onto the old Blood Drive. And then it seems like there's power weapons everywhere.
There are a lot of power weapons, and on my walkthrough, I didn't even get a chance to see all of them. Towards the end, there was a boom shot that popped up in the middle of the map. So I saw the boom shield down by where Torque Snipe used to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, boom shield. I wonder what else is down here. I wonder if there's something over by where Scorcher used to be on Gears 2. Nah. And I saw the middle area, and I was like, I wonder what that is. And then 5 minutes later, at the end of the walkthrough, I come back to it, and I see it's a boom shot, and I'm like, obviously on the walkthrough, I'm like really objective. I'm like, oh, there's a boom shot. And in my head, I'm thinking, what the fuck is a boom shot doing in the middle of the map?
And then you walk a little bit further, you're like, oh, a digger.
Oh yeah, there's a digger. Oh, there's a torque bow.
Oh, incense.
Oh, everything.
Pre-shot.
You spawn with frags. There's incense.
Someone said there was a
bushka.
bushka. Someone said there's a bushka.
If there's a
I don't know if that's
bushka,
true or not.
I don't know. It's like they threw all the explosive weapons. They were like, you know what? We knew Blood Drive was a campy map. We're gonna fix that. Everyone is gonna get explosives.
What's funny is that the reason that it was popular is probably strictly because it was so campy. Like,
because of Horde.
You remember there was Horde, but even multiplayer was voted pretty often, and I remember people just tagging the frag grenades to the walls and camping in the room. Like,
I don't care how
it was awful
popular that map was. It had some of the worst gameplay in Gears of War history. Up there with Overpass, up there with Escalation, up there with...
and they remade Escalation.
Up there with Ruins. Remember throwing the smokes and falling off and wiggling into the
lava, or emulsion. Sorry, not lava.
Up there with Hail. Up there with... what the fuck is the name of that map? With the little balcony up top. Gears 2. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of it. Colin. It had, on both sides, it had the little balcony that went up top. And, not Day One. Day One was not bad. Stasis. Up there with Stasis.
Oh yeah, Stasis was awful.
But yeah, people talk about that map like
again,
it was shit. Like, I just feel like
it's the same reason that the libraries were popular right now. Like in Execution, the same reason.
Because
everyone just goes into the attic and camps, and then they think it's the shit because they can clutch, because they handed it to you with the awful map design. So I remember old Blood Drive, everyone would just tag the frags, and then just wait because you couldn't do shit.
So
or you go into the clutch room.
I've been holding a lot of this. I'm obviously, again, since Active Reload is more gear centric than this show, I will be talking about some of this stuff with the crew there. But I tweeted out to Jim specifically. I said, why was this map remade? Out of all the choices, why Blood Drive? I don't feel like Blood Drive is on the same equivalent of Gridlock in terms of gameplay. Like, oh man, I want to play Gridlock. Like, Gridlock is awesome. Blood Drive was an okay map on Gears 2. Like, Pavilion was better. Jacinto was better. Did I say security? Security was better. I mean, it was a good map, but it wasn't the best where it needed to be remade 3 times. you're putting it in gridlock status, right?
I think the fact that they had to modify the map as much as they did is testament to the fact that it wasn't a great map. Like, all the changes were because they recognized some of the issues, and I feel like they recognized the issues, then just like went way overboard with how to address it. But essentially, the changes were them acknowledging that it didn't work necessarily.
Exactly. So why of all the? I mean, obviously, based off of what Jim has said. It seems like Gears 3 maps are easier to... I think he said this on their show. Gears 3 maps are easier to bring into Gears Judgment than
I'm sure it's closer
bringing back Gears 2.
and,
Gears 1 maps. So, there's a lot of choices there.
There's 25 maps, right?
There's 25 maps. There's a lot of choices there.
Yeah.
Hell, I would have even taken Aftermath, and they've done something to that. That seems like that map has some things that could make it potentially a better candidate than Blood Drive. I mean, just... The map nostalgia for me, in terms of gameplay, leaves a bad taste in my mouth. So when they remake that map, I already have that negative association with. I need to take these off. I don't need these. The negative association with the map is like, okay, I had a bad play experience on this game. It was really slow. I didn't like it. Gears 2, it was like throw smokes, you wiggle for 5 minutes on the ground, and then everyone rushes for a power weapon.
Yeah.
Didn't really like that gameplay. Even after they changed the smokes, it was still like...
It was still a race. It was a fair race.
And I thought Gears 2 played better than Gears 3.
For
that map. But it still wasn't very good. So it's like, I had a bad taste on Gears 2. I had a bad taste on Gears 3. The only people that I felt like really enjoyed that map were on Horde.
Yeah.
So it's like, why choose that? You have 24 other choices. Why choose Blood Drive? So, not to mention that I feel like, obviously execution, I think they're going to change the swaps. If they don't, it would just be absolutely ridiculous. But
we talk about, like, on Blood Drive, they put Breach Shot on one balcony and Torque on the opposite side, right?
They did that on...
why do they consider that a...
Why is that equal?
Yeah, why is it even... It's not even close. Like, Torque bow, especially in this game, is really bad.
Just wait till we get to Boneyard, because I just completely don't understand that. But
that's what I was going to lead into, is Boneyard, they did the same thing, but with a long shot.
Not only did they do it a long shot, but they put a sniper nest.
Yeah, like, and fully fortified sniper nest.
How do they feel like one team getting long shot, getting a fortification on top of that, and then one team getting a torque bow out in the open? How is that equal?
Yeah.
Like, how does that play out balance-wise? Give us two snipes, two torques.
Yeah.
Do
it's
something
particularly funny because I think the competitive community's always acknowledged that sniper is a counter to torque.
Right.
Like, going back to, I'd say Gears 2 with Pavilion is a good example, where if someone was revving the torque, you'd check him down with the snipe, and then he couldn't do anything.
Right.
And that's always, even, hell, you can go back to Canals, even Gears 1. So, like, that's always been the kind of general understanding that sniper counters torque bow, but then you place them in equal positions cross map,
and
because you don't want to put the same weapon on the map twice.
I don't.
Is that another free for all thing? Is that like?
I think it's a free for all thing. And I was playing free for all. I loaded those in free for all. So they obviously maybe they will change the swaps out for the non-free-for-all game types, but if they're not like that...
Have they done that yet? Have they done mode or playlist-specific swaps?
Besides execution. They took out Boomshot on execution.
That's right.
And they took stems, frags, and ink out from the starting loadouts. So they're clearly acknowledging there's some balance things with the map. So, if it's free-for-all needs to have different swaps, that's fine. And like I said, I was playing free-for-all, but... if they, that hasn't been consistent with what they're doing so far in the game, so it's more than likely TDM, domination. They're going to have those weapons on the map, and it's like, that doesn't make balanced gameplay, and that's what a lot of people are like complaining about from the spawns. It's like one team spawns and grabs a power weapon, the other team spawns and grabs a power weapon. There's no fight like there used to be.
Yeah, even free for all, like if you spawn next to a power weapon, if there's 9 power weapons on the map. It seems pretty likely you'll spawn next to a good power weapon.
It's like everyone gets something.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, but whoever spawns closest to the best power weapons will have a significant advantage.
I don't know.
Like spawning down bottom mid by the boom shot?
Don't know.
You're just going to grab the boom shot at the beginning of the match?
Don't know. So the other thing,
it doesn't even make sense for free-for-all is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. So the other thing that we talked about with Blood Drive, and then we'll quickly go over to Boneyard, is that on Gears of War 2, the metagame for competitive execution ended up revolving around I'd say after the initial rush, everyone pushes down. Sometimes teams wouldn't push down. They would sit on the steps and try to get like a down or something like that, and then a kill from like a frag or something like that.
Yeah.
But after about the 2-minute mark, it ended up being Arena Around the Rosie. And we were notorious for doing that when we played the Insanes in our match. Oh, my daughter's going ham. When we played the Insanes, we did something where if they would push us and they had a power weapon advantage, we would just run around in circles. Yeah.
3v4 at times.
And basically, yes, we would do this because this was part of our game plan, and that we would basically try to ISO one of them that came and swung back around on us, and then we would have all 3 people ready for the 3-on-2 or the 3-on-1 or whatever situation we can get numbers. That's how we played. In this map, it's so much bigger, and it's that ring around the rosy effect where if you're playing execution on Blood Drive, you're down 2v3. Like, it's going to be really difficult. And this is what we talked about before. It's really difficult already with the free-falling ledges. But how are you going to ISO a team? Like, they're just going like this.
Especially when the person can keep on running away and grabbing power weapons because there's a power weapon around every corner.
You really have to... you always have to have a numbers, and maybe you have to just stack power weapons, like, grab 2 booms.
Well, you can grab 2 booms.
A digger, a
2 bushkas.
A torque bow.
Incense for the whole team.
I don't know. We have some really tough challenges right now for figuring it out. Obviously, you can't do that on Boom Shot right now for execution because it's not in there. But the same concept, same principle is what we're talking about. It's just stacking power weapons in order to shut down people running around in circles.
Even just finding people, like...
It's pretty rough.
Really big. You showed me one area where there's like a counter. It's just a dead end. You can just hide behind this counter. It's L-shaped.
Yeah, it's where the old...
there's no reason whatsoever to be able to go back there.
Yeah.
But it's back there, I guess, specifically as like a hiding or clutch spot. I don't
know. And then the opposite side is huge and wide open in Central Station.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things, a lot of issues with that. That I think a lot of teams are going to encounter when they really don't have a choice. They have to use that map. The next map, Boneyard, like I said, it's very similar to Mausoleum. It's like a half cylinder, half circle, just like Haven. Straight shot to the boom shot, from what I saw. And there's pretty much only one path. So you go straight, and then you can go down into a side like steps, and that's like your flank. The issue is, because of that focal point and the rest of the maps the weapons on the map aren't really that good, that initial fight, if both teams spawn at the opposite entrances, is going to be a boom shot. Like, you and I looked at that and we were like,
it's a foot race to
that's a foot race to boom shot. So it's like nade out on the other side hallway. Hope you get an ink or a frag kill, whatever, and then that team grabs boom shot. And it's basically what makes it so puzzling to me is that ensigns are right in the middle bridge, middle of the map, and they put ensigns there and boom shot up here. And it's like, well, if they're taking the Mausoleum approach, then yeah, okay, that makes sense because, the boom shot was in that circular Mausoleum area. But in terms of, again, balance-wise for like a TDM or objective game type, it makes more sense to put the boom shot in the middle and make more of the map usage prominent.
Have to fight around it.
Exactly.
Yeah. The weird thing for me is it looked like the boom area, there's no tall cover. It's all just the raised platform. Like, it's all just waist-high cover.
Was there a fallen pillar that used to be there?
I can't remember how they had it.
Gears 1?
I think there was several pillars. I think there was support beams.
Okay.
But like, it looked like it was really open in the sense that you can just like lob grenades and hit the other side of cover. Like, it's completely open, so as long as you just bounce your grenade right, you can land it right on top of the opposite side cover, and then you force things to move. Like, there's no sense of setting up to cover the boom shot. It just looked like it's just a mad rush.
Maybe get a flank. But the flank is pretty long.
Like, if you want to go to the other side's flank,
it's pretty long. So it's not like it's a short flank.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to have problems for execution unless they change swaps, I guess.
It's gonna be a fight for the boom shield.
No. Is it torque or wait? What's the power weapon at the top of the stairs?
On the opposite side?
Yeah.
It was a Hammer of Dawn. What was the side for? No, the hammer isn't on a lot of maps. Like, they got to put it somewhere, and that one is open. So that makes sense. It makes sense to have it there. I don't have a problem with the Hammer of Dawn being on the map if they want to throw that in there. I just feel like the boom shot needs to be.
I have to rush for either the boom shot or the Hammer of Dawn. Let me think about this for a second. Which one do I want to go for?
The Bushka.
There's no Bushka, right?
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I'm not gonna buy the DLC. I don't have a season pass.
I got a season pass.
I've bought every Gears DLC from Gears 1 through Gears 3. I had the season pass for Gears 3, so I might have quit buying at some point, but I already had the season pass, so I was already committed.
Yeah.
In the sense I wasn't playing anymore. But obviously the map packs were all good, but I think I'm not going to buy this one.
You're not going to get it? Not supporting it?
I don't think I'm going to. On principle. I mean, if you guys tune into the show, you've heard me complain about Gears Judgment way more than I probably even should. It's just disappointing for me. But I don't know. I'm barely playing now. I get frustrated when I play. I think they'll make it better with updates over the next month or two. If they keep supporting it, I don't know what their plans are business-wise. I'm still waiting on my second free map. What happened to that? Still haven't even seen any pictures of it.
Capital,
I think is his name. Yeah, haven't seen any pictures.
Maybe he got scrapped. Maybe they're gonna remake a map.
I wonder if they had some like major issues or something.
Maybe they're gonna remake a map.
Maybe they had a map and it's like, this is awful.
Probably gonna remake it.
Capital's remake of like Day One or something.
So an interesting
Raven
point
down.
that someone brought up to me was that Epic Games has remade more maps than probably any other studio
By far.
on their titles.
On Gears 2, they shipped 5 remakes.
So
free DLC.
I think I talked about this on Gears of War 3 a couple times with you. Maybe said it on Active Reload, on I'm gonna say season 1 of Active Reload, where it's really hard to say this, like they don't spend time developing maps. Again, the development team is really small for multiplayer side.
12 people for Gears Judgment.
It's even less now.
Yeah, at the peak. And then it peaked at 4 or 5 in Gears 1.
Right. So, to give you an idea of how small that is, our team for Loadout, which is considered an indie dev, is slightly bigger than that. Very slight. I mean, when we go bare bones, when we're working on different projects and stuff, we have more people, obviously, that come over because our studio is a little bit bigger than that. But we have more people working on multiplayer than they did.
Yeah, we worked on, at Certain Thing, we worked on the Halo multiplayer, and we had like 40 plus people.
Yeah, so it's like, I think we were at 20. So 12 is really small. Again, it's really hard to fault them for the shortcomings in this specific game in terms of content because of the bare bones crew that they have put forth. But this is their like bread and butter title in terms of community reception, media, press. Gears of War is supposed to be the shit for Epic Games, and I just 4 and 4 for the maps, and some of them are rehashed, and it's like, what new are you developing at Epic Games? Overrun maps, which is for very, very niche group in terms of multiplayer, it seems like. I mean, I love Overrun, I really do, but the thing that I said, and we've talked about this, is like, even despite how good it is, people are just like, fuck Overrun.
Even the play rate hasn't been bad. It's been
the playlist numbers have been actually pretty
maybe like
good.
3/4 of what TDM is, but then you have to figure like you're making maps for that community versus making maps for the full TDM community, the full free for all, the full domination, the full execution.
Exactly.
Like it adds up to maybe 3 or 4 times.
So
which
content wise,
they shoehorn themselves into by even making Overrun maps be separate from the regular maps.
Right.
Like going into it, you had to have known that. Yeah, I ranted about this last week.
So I don't know. I just feel like, someone saying that to me and me kind of thinking about it like, man, Epic Games they do really remake a lot of maps. I don't know if that's the community's fault or they just don't feel like spending time making new maps. At the same time, they have released a number of good new maps, like that are new, but they do have a lot of remakes. And even the community now, I would much rather prefer them create original maps and continue to do that. But from what we've seen from the community's response is like, hey, we want remakes. We want flashback maps. And so it's like, I don't know if it's the community's fault or Epic just like, hey, you know what, we're going to do this for the community because they like it. I don't know.
I've also seen a lot of comments saying I'd rather see something new. Like,
yeah, I mean it's split 50-50, I think.
Speaking of remakes, did you get the tweet from I think it was Mike D Nice this morning? He went through the title update, through some of the code strings and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Shit.
Do you have it?
Pull it up real quick. I think
Alright.
I have it. But the interesting thing was that so he went through. He's done this with a few of them. He sent me tweets and stuff. We talked about it, but Mike D lost. Sorry, not. So inside of the update, there was supports. They added text strings for the leaderboards. So when you're going through the leaderboard at the top, it has the map name. You can search by maps.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So they added these strings. Leaderboard settings base. I'll rattle off some of the map names on here. MP Skyline, MP Island, MP Gridlock G3, Gears 3 I assume, MP Hotel, MP Mercy, Old Town, Overpass, Sandbar, Thrashball, Trenches, Azura, Blood Drive G3, Rustlung, Estate, Junkyard, and then Gondola Free for All, Library Free for All, Streets Free for All, Rig Free for All, Haven Free for All, Capital, Mausoleum Free for All, and Terminal. And MP Dreadnought, sorry, it's the last one. So they had all these text strings. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything. It's not like the maps are on the disc or anything. What they are adding is the strings to potentially add those maps through DLC, I assume. I'm not sure if there's precedent for them like accidentally adding that stuff, but that's not even like, it's not even a list of all the Gears 3 maps or all the Gears 2 maps. It's just like select maps down a list. But that's what, like 12 remakes I just rattled off?
But Overpass was in there.
And Overpass was in there. Yeah.
Someone says it.
And Sandbar.
Menasher? Oh god, oh please, yeah. Wow.
So, I don't know. I've heard a lot of people just calling for them just to release the Gears 3 maps as is, like just drop them into Judgment. And I wonder if they would do that as like a fan service type thing of just like, here, have these maps. If they try and release that shit as DLC, it won't fly.
Here's my question is like,
Overpass and new routes and elevators. It'll definitely fix it.
do you feel like you would have just rather than worked on Gears of War 3?
Yeah, I mean, they had 25 maps based off, like, they just released modes and stuff throughout the entire time. Released, like, a quality, like, story expansion, like, how, for example,
the code seems similar, right?
Borderlands.
The code seems, obviously, the code is very similar.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they probably could have tweaked a lot of the things that they wanted to tweak. They could have probably put in the Marksa, introduced the new, and the Bushka.
They could have done new weapons. They
could have
removed
the new weapons.
Stopping power. They already did it.
They could have, they've already removed stopping power at this point, so it's like...
See, the animation tweaking and speeding up and stuff, probably not. It would have been difficult at least.
Okay.
Falling off ledges, probably not. I'm not sure it was something...
Falling off ledges, I think they could have done it, because if you think about the window on Blood Drive, that's a pretty far hop down.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could have hacked it in there, but it wouldn't have been. I mean, technically, you could hop off of the platform on checkout, which they said was the thing that was driving them nuts, and it just led to them making it so you could drop off ledges, which sounds ridiculous to me. Like, oh man, it's bothering me we couldn't drop off this ledge on checkout, this 4-foot ledge.
I think Jim said that.
Yeah, Jim said this during one of their
live streams.
He's just like, yeah, it really bothered us that you couldn't drop off the ledge on checkout. Really bothered us, so then we just went and made it so you could fall off 5-story ledges convincingly. I don't get how you go from that to that.
Look, we already talked about this. Hold on. Let me, for the chat, you guys that remember that watch this episode, Colin, we've determined that the gravity on Sarah is different than on Earth.
I think I won this argument.
No, you didn't.
In the end.
The gravity on Sarah
is because
different than Earth.
Yeah, because if you throw a grenade, then it falls at normal speed. So therefore, you would expect people to
we
also
don't know what normal speed is. You can't interpret normal speed on the game. They've
I'll give you this.
Normalized.
They have a
13-hour,
or they have a, it's 26-hour day.
Yeah, look at that. It's not even the same as Earth. They have a 26-hour day. It's not even the same.
Oh man, it's ridiculous. You can fall off ledges. I've said it 100 times. But yeah, like they could have kept on updating Gears 3 and just ignored the falling off ledges bit. Release new maps, modes, guns. Hell, they could have even done $20-$30 expansion, as we talked about, which had all the maps from Gears 3, and then maybe some updates. You could have had the falling off ledges. You could have had whatever else, I guess.
Yeah.
And then just have that entire base of content, 25 plus maps. To let people go nuts.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you could have done. All right, so
now you're saying you're struggling for maps, and the maps you're making are shitty as fuck because you made them for free for all.
All right, so the last thing we want to mention here is the Mastered Arms game type.
Gun game.
Gun game from Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, whatever you want to call it.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike for most of you guys out there. But I only played one game. That's all I really need to play is one. But for the most part, it's actually not bad. I actually enjoyed it. But it seems like I don't know if I really agree with all of the choices for the weapons. Now the last weapon is obviously pretty damn cool. It's a fucking cleaver. You remember how many times I asked Pete to introduce Cleaver Fever for a playlist, for event playlist? Like I asked him 1,000 times. I tweeted at him, but so I was down 8. I entered a quick match. You start off with, I think, the Lancer goes Lancer, Nasher, Boomshot. Boomshot was third, and then
so they didn't go like weakest weapon to strongest.
It didn't go weakest to strongest, and went almost strongest. Like the order is kind of messed up. That's what I was saying. Like the order doesn't quite make
traditional
sense.
Gun game. You'd start with a pistol and then go all the way up till
a Boomshot,
whatever, and then maybe your last kill will be a knife. Is I think what Counter-Strike and Call of Duty do.
So it definitely was interesting. Like I had fun. But this is a game type, again, I don't like free-for-all. I never really liked free-for-all. If I'm going to play in a free-for-all almost setting, I would just prefer dueling. I'd rather do 1v1 than free-for-all. Like, that's just me.
Or just play free-for-all.
I mean, it's just like, not my cup of tea. And I'm sure there's some people that are probably going to get into it, but all I need is one time. And I was like, yeah, this is fun, but I'm not going to sink any time into this. Where's my bomb game type? Like, that's all I care about.
To me, it's a really easy and lazy thing to add. Like, all you're really doing is just adding the script to change the weapon each time you spawn.
Right. So what they do is they
determine a winner.
Infinite ammo. They change the UI a little bit, so it shows the weapon you have, the weapon that you're going to get. So there's a UI change. There's also a new animation, like after you kill someone, you get like this icon / blue, I don't know, almost glow halo-ish looking thing over you. That signifies that you have advanced to your next weapon. But I don't know. I was just like, that's not for me.
I mean, yeah, it's a party game.
And
it's kind of weird to have a party game that's free for all.
Beers, dude. Oh my god, it's so fun.
Kind of weird.
But where's my bomb game type?
Yeah.
I keep saying where's everyone's bomb game type? This has been proposed before I even mentioned that it would be awesome. Like, I think that would be much better for the game than gun game. Which, either way, the funniest thing is that either way, the community is going to be pissed. If you introduce a bomb game type, there's going to be people like, why the fuck are you copying off of Call of Duty when, again, it's Counter-Strike?
Yeah.
And I saw the same thing on my Mastered Arms video. Like, I had a good time. I'm in there like, oh man, this is pretty fun. I get the cleaver. I'm going nuts. Like, oh my god, Cleaver Fever. I was trying to swipe people. Like, I'm clearly having fun. And some people notice that. Other people are just comments are like, this is fucking gun game. Get this Call of Duty bullshit out of here. And it's like, well, again, the default people is
you gotta educate people.
Educate people like, Call of Duty did not start this shit. Counter-Strike started it. That's probably what my number one pet
Here's the
peeve
thing, like, Call of Duty will unabashedly take from other game types, and then their community loves it, so...
Our game type is really elitist, dude. Like, we're very exclusive. We want only this for us. We don't want to go on the PC. We don't want to go on the PS3. We don't want to expand the community at all. Yeah. We want to be Nasher only. We don't want the rifles to work. Like,
I'm trying to imagine the Call of Duty community if they were like, search and destroy, that's Counter-Strike game type. Like, gun game, that's a Counter-Strike game type. I don't want that. Get out of the game. I don't want options. I don't want cool new modes to play. Like, it's just ridiculous to me. And I would settle for any objective game type Really, like anything that's a solid objective done well, rather than just hills. Like hills is just stale. You know what I mean?
I think I 100% agree with you. I just want to hit it before I sorry I had to cut you off, but what you said, like that's what pisses me off about our community so much. It's like they could work on a new game type, and admittedly this is not very original from them, based off of their previous iteration of game types, but. It's like we're getting another game type, and people will still be like, "Fuck Call of Duty," and it's like, "Oh God, come on, guys."
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't understand. The fact they released gun game kind of throws out that excuse out the window for Epic for me. Like, if their reasoning behind it was, we don't want to do something that's been done by other games, particularly our counterparts, our rivals in the industry. But then you release gun games, so it's like.
They don't care.
Clearly, they don't care.
Counter-Strike did it first.
Yeah, and it's not even that.
It's just like saying, like
I said, it's a party game.
And then people talk about domination. Unreal had domination before, 90% of the game's out.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. People just don't know. People aren't educated on those things. So, we haven't been really looking at the chat.
40 minutes.
We've already gone 40 minutes on this DLC. Let's go ahead and switch the topic up. Might go a little bit longer today. What was... I have to pull this up. Alien Jesus, pray to me. You missed that, dude. It was hilarious. Halo 4, I'm going to let you go with the Halo. So you played it. Halo 4 updates. What'd you think? Because the ranking system...
Really, it's just the ranking system that's in there.
And then Quinn has been like... He's been openly... Like,
he's been trying to recruit all the Gears players.
Gears guys, come over to Halo. Like, Quinn has been on it, like, crazy. It's really funny to me that he's
shameless.
Been doing that,
just shameless like, recruiting of the Gears players.
He's literally saying specifically, like, listen, we're working on shit. We're going to make this the shit. It's going to be really in tune with the competitive community. Like, he's all about it. He's like, listen, whatever you're playing, like, Kenny, Cream, come over and play. Arctic, hey, you trying to play some Halo right now? Hey, Skylar, you trying to, hey, we over here doing big things.
Yeah.
Quinny D.
No, the game's fun. I was actually playing the Action Sack playlist, which is their kind of grab bag, like crazy game type thing.
Yeah.
I worked on Halo for over a year and a half. For those I know, I was doing QA at Certain Affinity, but so I worked on it for ages. I've played a ton of matches, so doing the Action Sack stuff, it's like game types that I wouldn't have played normally. Right. It's like I played they did rockets and rails where you have like almost infinite jetpack and you can like get picked out of the air with the railgun. So it's kind of like the railgun counters the jetpack, and then if you want to go fly in the air, you could rocket people. Really, it's just almost all railgun. So they had that. Binary Slayer is infinite thruster pack, swords and binary rifles.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy on Ragnarok. It's kind of like skiing all over the map with the thruster. And then my favorite was Lightning CTF, which is basically Instagib from like Quake or
Unreal, yeah.
Where you have light rifle and just one of the bullets from the burst will kill people. And so it's all one-hit kills. If you grab the flag, then you still have the Instagib rifle out. The light rifle, it doesn't switch to the pistol. Touch returns, all that good stuff. You get lots of double, triple kills, clutch stops, returns, all that crazy stuff that I think Halo 4 really failed to get.
Yeah.
So I was having fun playing that. Then every now and then people would vote for Fiesta Slayer, where it's just random starting weapons.
Since it's Fiesta, do they have like the party?
The grunt popper noises? Yeah. Yep, every single kill heard across the map. The grunt birthday cheer. Yay! 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 So it's enough to drive you insane. So it sucks because I really just want to play Lightning CTF as its own playlist and have fun. Yeah, it's fun. I was trying to get 50 CSR and Action Sack.
Is it hard?
I peaked out around 30 or 31 before I stopped playing because it was getting to a point where you had to win 3 or 4 games to level up.
Right.
I think it might be dependent on the people in the match's CSR. So if there's not a lot of people that play Action Sack religiously, which I imagine there aren't.
Probably not.
Then it makes it hard to get up there. A few people said they hit 50 in the first day or two. So
what?
Not in Action Sack.
Wait. Okay.
And I imagine if I play with the team, it'd be easy. It's based on your individual score, so it's basically kill death. It's not win loss like it should be. It should be win loss.
Does it drop?
Yeah, it drops.
Okay. As long as it drops, because then once you're playing all against all 50s and you're getting your butt whooped by T2 and Buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of threshold it takes to actually go down.
To go down? Okay.
Obviously, with it being based off your individual score, I imagine as long as you're finishing somewhere around even, then you'll...
Did we talk about who they
Stay.
picked up from... I think we did last week. They recruited the guy that did...
I don't think we mentioned it.
Did we not mention it?
I think it was after that. I think it was the very next day.
Okay, so...
Fuck, now I can't remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but he did the ELO for StarCraft. Or
He did the entire league system for StarCraft. He was the designer for it.
The entire league system for StarCraft is that designer program. I don't know what his official title is. He's over at 343 now. So when Quinn's like, "Hey, listen, we're trying to incorporate all this shit. Get your ass over on the game. Like, if you're trying to play with the big boys." I got to take them kind of serious. Like, they're going after people.
Yeah. I can't find the guy's name. I feel bad because I actually knew his name. Like, the moment that I saw it mentioned on Twitter, I was like, oh, that's the guy from StarCraft.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of reading. I was working on an article, you might remember, talking about ranking systems and ELO and all that stuff, and League of Legends system and StarCraft system and all that stuff. And reading on the StarCraft stuff, it was really impressive how they determined how certain elements of their thing worked. And obviously, them picking up the lead designer for that, or he might have just been one of the lead designers, but I imagine they had quite a big team working on that.
Probably.
But yeah, it was someone who I saw connected to it. I've seen his quotes. He gets it in terms of ranking and skill ranking and that kind of stuff. And even competitive play, since league system is very based on the ranked mentality of this is a match, type deal.
Right.
No leaving, no customs, no this is our strict, whatever. I'm not digging into anything. I'm not digging anything in particular. Just pointing out how Blizzard does something well with their ranking system. So yeah, it's a big pickup for them as a company.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that between that and then obviously Quinn, we know, is over there. He gets it.
Then they got Bravo and
yeah, they picked up Bravo. He's an assistant producer, I think.
That sounds
associate producer, might be junior producer.
Probably junior
like
producer.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the next Halo game has some seriously good shit in it.
Yeah.
Some seriously good competitive shit. So
I imagine it'll be next gen.
Yeah.
Hopefully they take 2 or 3 years to get it right.
They still need to worry about Destiny.
Yeah.
Bungie.
I'm excited for Destiny.
All right, so that was a quick topic, and we're gonna go to Injustice.
They're also been doing some balance updates, like I said at the beginning of the show, bringing all the rifles in line to the DMR's godlike status, and increasing the assault rifles to boot.
Destiny.
Destiny.
So you guys, if you guys follow, are subscribed to me on YouTube, I have been playing some Injustice. Colin, have you seen any? You probably haven't.
I actually tried to watch the stream at Civil War Land.
Of some of it?
Tournament stream.
It's basically
But they were streaming from, you remember the Verizon 4G thing you had?
Yeah.
They were using that to stream the tournament, so it was like up and down the entire time.
No, they weren't.
Yeah. Head in the title was like, Civil War 5 Injustice. Streaming from Verizon 4G, so it's gonna suck. In the subject. But yeah, they're trying to use that. So I watched a little bit of matches. It seemed like lots of the same people over and over.
Wow.
But I don't know. It looks all right. What have you thought?
So
I still don't see a fight stick.
It's not here yet.
Okay.
When I have it, I'll be.
So you probably still can't block then, right? You're just waiting for that magical moment where
I can block a little bit, but I'm more focused on combos. Like, I want to learn combos, and the thing about muscle memory. We talk about muscle memory a lot, and you think about some of the games where, like, we'll take Gears for example. Like, there's certain things that we would do in there just. Sometimes it's like a tick, like we would hit the tactical overhead map overlay, just
flipping the stick down while you're roadie running.
Flipping the stick down while you're roadie running, and like those little things. Sometimes you got the ogre twitch, people call it that. There's like different things in shooters where you kind of get muscle memory, just doing the same things over and over and over again. We practice this. Our strategy style is practicing the same thing. We will literally on one map. Against the whole day, practice one specific strat. We'll do that the entire time we play. We might do that for a week. And so, like, teams get pissed because we would just do the same things over and over and over again. And one of the reasons is, like, that muscle memory. And so playing a fighter and trying to learn combos from muscle memory. First off, there's so many combos. It's like I don't know what approach I should take just based off of my shooter history. Should I be like, I'm gonna learn one combo, I'm gonna do that all day, and just be that dude that does one move the entire day? I don't know what approach I should take.
I don't think you should do one move. I think
I'm
it should
gonna
probably
do
be
one
like
move the
4
entire
or 5 moves and learn to string them together.
One combo, XXY.
Yeah, I have no idea.
XXY.
Like, I have no idea how to approach playing a fighting game.
So I mean, I play with Christy. Christy is really interested in the game. She wants to learn to play fighters, I guess. So her and I will kind of be sparring against each other. And then I'll have my fight stick. When I get my fight stick, I'll be streaming more. Like, you guys get to see me suck live. It won't be from the comfort of me recording it and then uploading some live gameplays of me sucking. It'll actually be live, so you guys be like, damn, Arctic fucking sucks at
All those
fighting
people
games.
telling you how to play.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even mind it. Like, I picked up tips from Tense, actually, because he said he plays some Marvel versus Capcom, and he's like, you know, I think you would like this game. And so I might even pick up that. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go the whole fighting route. I mean, if I get my arcade stick and I love it, dude, I might even pick up.
You probably have a hard time.
I might even pick up fucking Street Fighter 4.
You have a hard time in both, considering that it's
Playing
just the
against
hardcore
Filipino.
guys left. Just the hardcore guys left.
Playing
You
against
could probably play Vi,
he'll
since
train me.
he's friends with Alex.
Yeah, he's friends with me too.
Yeah, friends of the team.
I'd be like, hey, Alex, train me. Let me see your Ryu. As he continues to mop the floor.
He just fuck you up and be like, man, you gotta practice.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm really enjoying myself. Tense and I have been sparring a little bit. I haven't been playing a lot here recently. I've done a lot of video editing stuff the last, like, week or so. But, you know, when I do this, I'm going to be openly inviting people to come play with me. I'm going to be holding, like, King of the Hill tournaments or whatever. So that, you know, people streaming get to see it. I post it up on YouTube. You guys get to get involved.
It sounds like you just do like an open lobby type thing, right?
Yeah. So
I always wish that more shooters.
not only
had
that,
be
but you
easy
can
to do.
spectate. So it's like
There's a
almost
spectator
like, it's
mode?
almost like dueling. They get it, dude. They get it. Fighting community gets it.
They don't have like tournaments, do they? Like mini tournaments in the game?
I don't know if they have tournaments in game.
That's the next level.
But
Next level. Do like 4-man tournaments?
yeah, that
Just
would be
like-
nice. But there are some tournament sites. I think Limelight's actually linked me to. He's in the chat right now. Linked me to Test Your Might.
Yeah.
He's telling me I need
It's the
to.
Mortal Kombat community.
Yeah, I need to get on that.
Which is all basically moving over to this game, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So.
So, I might look into that. I don't know if I will necessarily be playing it like ultra competitive level. I just want to get good at fighters.
Yeah.
Because that's the only genre that I really suck at. Like, there's not too many other ones that I'm not particularly good at. But that's one. It's like, well, if you play against me in a fighter, you're probably gonna win.
I should tired on top of Fight Night. I was like,
You should.
one of the best players in the world at Fight Night. I'm not touching a fighter for the rest of my life. This counts. It's not a sports game. It's a fighting game.
So yeah, I don't know.
4 rounds is all I play. 4 rounds to the judges. Let's go. That's my game type.
I don't know, how serious I'm going to get into it, but I'm really, really enjoying the game. It's fun. It's pretty easy to pick up. It's not like, I mean, there's some technical aspects of it,
Yeah.
but from talking to like Ian, who's really into the Street Fighter community, and Rich, those are 2 guys from our studio that love fighters. Ian actually goes to some tournaments. He's thinking about going to EVO this year. Anyway,
He should just for the experience.
yeah, it's not as technical as like a Street Fighter, so you can just sit down and kind of enjoy it. Again, this is just from talking to them. All of it is really technical to me because I don't know. I can't even string together a combo right now.
In terms of accessibility, I was laughing because I was watching the stream and then like dude picks up piano, swings it, then like 4 seconds later he just like kicks him off the map and it's like this 20-second cutscene all just like falling off tons of stuff. And then they land like nothing happened, just like, all right, now let's resume real quick. Let's resume.
Yeah, so
Play ball.
it's pretty cool. I'm enjoying the game. Like I said, for anybody in the chat that's playing it, as soon as I get my arcade stick, I promise to God, like I'm gonna be going hardcore on it. And I'm looking forward to playing with some people. So I hope you guys, for you guys that are in fighters that are really good, want to play, want to help me out, and I will be a willing student. Like, just teach me, Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it on Injustice. The game is fun. If Christy was in here, she'd probably be like, "Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it." So that's all I gotta say on it.
Look pretty cool.
What stick are you getting, Arctic? You see that? You see that logo right there? That's what arcade stick I'm getting. That one. You see who we're sponsored by right down there? That's the one. So hopefully I'll let you guys know how it is. I'm looking forward to that. You're gonna be like, oh man, it's so nice. You'll be like, that's so nice. So let's go ahead and go to a chat topic. Non-Gears related.
We're waiting for questions to come in. We talk about the streams that we watched.
Yeah. So
Injustice chat topic. You didn't take off the Injustice part.
Oh, oops.
Yeah, I watched a Firefall stream. They did the shit. I think it's the Bronodon. Is the tournament they did?
That's the name of it.
I think so. It's a character. It's a NPC enemy from the game single player type thing. But
sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's dinosaur. Basically, yeah, they have dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was their third tournament. It's kind of the community competitive league that's run. They got sponsored by Red 5 developers with some prizes and stuff. Our friend Tilter actually made it to the finals.
Did he?
Yep. Or sorry, they actually got third, but they were in the grand final or winners bracket finals. That's what I watched.
Wow.
Apparently, there's like three really good teams.
Tilter too. Like, yeah, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah. Apparently, there's like three really good teams. The two of the guys on his team actually were ones that whooped me up. Like they play together all the time and just heal each other, and yeah, complete bitch move. But they whooped me up pretty bad. Superior and Ace Stars, so I don't think I actually played in the match.
Okay.
But so they made it to the winner bracket final, so I tuned in when he linked it and I watched. The thing that sucks is it's TDM, and the only thing that's on map is an objective. There's like health things you can pick up to refill your health. It doesn't stack or anything. And then there's double damage every 2 minutes, I believe.
Right.
So it's TDM with just that objective. So it's like, it's predictably slow paced in that way. So it's kind of like you'd attack, there'd be a big fight, you get like 4 or 5 kills, then you just regroup. And it's pretty funny. There's a few times where they regroup and they're like in formation, like 5 people on top of each other, just waiting for the other team to push out. And the moment they push out, they all like pop all their AoE buffs and just go charging.
That's why TDM sucks.
Yeah. So I think that once they add an objective mode, it'll be a lot better. And they also did lots of, I really hate this, we talked about it before, but spectating in third person with like a fly cam.
So you're like
really painful to watch. Like, yeah, they're just like watching the battle from afar, and it's like, it looks like this team is pulling ahead, and it's like, I'd like to see the players' contributions to that.
Wait till I talk about the tribes
instead of the overall thing.
If you thought that was bad, competitive tribes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's see. 8 fusion greater than Razor? Dang.
8 arc, yeah.
8 arc, okay.
Character you've been playing. Have you settled on a character for Injustice?
I'm using Shazam, Flash, and Harley Quinn. Those are my 3 characters that I've been practicing with the most. I like Shazam the most right now. Flash is a close second.
You would like Shazam.
Shazam! Such a little nerdy kid.
Racing games become as big as fighting games.
No.
The Trackmania community in Europe is actually pretty big. They ran it for WCG for a while.
No.
The CGS tried to run Project Gotham, and I think WCG ran it for a year or 2 as well. So it's been tried. It's never really taken off big time.
Someone said they probably could have gotten me a fight stick from Markman.
He has like 500. He has a warehouse of fight sticks.
Miss Blood Drive discussion, yes. AR Fusion, what character? Will racing games? No. Loadout? Wants me to talk about Loadout? Free-to-play third-person shooter, currently in closed beta, all about weapon crafting. And we actually did the number of total weapons. 5.5 million uniques weapons that you can create. And it's like, with weapon tiers, 40 million. Or 400 million, something like that.
And they're all more unique than something like Borderlands, where
exactly.
It's just stat values. Skyless, why don't you have your own channel for all your reviews, opinions, gameplay stuff? I get most of my opinion stuff out here. And I do have my own YouTube channel, I just don't post anything. And I can't stream because AT&T sucks. Once I get that Google Fiber, I'll probably stream.
Google Fiber. We talked about Google Fiber.
And then I'll be able to share my opinions on shit.
Talk about EA.
You hear how much I hate stuff.
I'm not seeing anything. What's a good chat topic? I see some talk about EA. We did that one last week.
Talking about.
Scoot says, "I will dominate you all." That's John.
That's John. Yeah. Oh, that's right. He made a good point about iRacing. I don't know if you've heard anything. Do you know what iRacing is?
That's not the big thing. It
technically is. It's subscription based. So you pay monthly, and then you kind of like race your way up through the leagues. Then the top leagues have cash prizes, which I think are funded by the subscriptions.
You remember the Sony?
But because it's monthly, you wouldn't like go around the track going backwards and crashing into people because you've paid money to play, and they can suspend you and all that stuff.
Do you remember the Sony game that had the club racing? I can't remember the title. It'd probably be good for that.
Yeah.
So just real quick off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's the other thing is iRacing also requires you to have a wheel and stuff. So you can't
talk about yourselves.
Talk about myself.
What do you want us to talk about ourselves? I've had questions about how to get into the industry. Want to do that?
I don't know. I'm in QA, so it's like
that's a start. That's where I started.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
that's fair. So in order to get into the industry, you have to either live in Seattle, San Francisco, Austin, maybe Boston area. I don't know what they're looking like anymore. It's always kind of rough.
I don't know.
In the U.S. at least, those are the big cities.
Southern California.
Yeah, I said San Fran.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the crux of it. But really, like, if you're in those kind of areas, then just apply. I got in through QA, and I think I got hired largely because of my competitive background by Robert, who used to be the QA manager at Edge of Reality, actually. And then, really, once you get some experience, you can just kind of hop from job to job if you have to.
Yeah.
I think it sucks is the game industry as a whole, but especially QA, is really high turnover rate, where those kind of like end a project, we no longer have any use for all these people we ramped on, and then they'll just like drop 70% of it.
You have to be an outstanding QA member, and most of them are, at least most of the ones that I've run across, are like, meh, they're okay. And then you get that one stud that's like, you know, your QA lead or whoever is probably like, yeah, he doesn't need to be in QA. Let's try to get him out of here. And so, I mean, that's typically what happens. Like you said, that high turnover rate, and then a couple guys they'll get added on, or their contract extended because they're so good. But yeah, I totally agree.
Alternatively, you go to school for either game-specific thing, which is kind of less common that people get placed with game-specific degrees, and it's more so computer science, from what I understand.
Yeah. For programmers specifically.
Learn to be a programmer, and then you can go from there. It sounds like, from most people I've talked to, they've kind of regretted going the game-specific schooling route. They haven't felt like they've learned that much stuff that actually helped them in the industry. And they wish, like a lot of those people I've talked to have wished they had more coding fundamentals.
Yeah. So, I mean, programmers is definitely where the money is probably at the most in terms of, I mean, who gets paid in terms of designers or programmers. Programmers do most of the work. Designers are more like...
Programmers get most of the money, too.
Yeah.
They get paid well.
How do things work? How should they work in a game is what, I mean, that's essentially what designers are most responsible for. My story is
computer engineering is another one. Yeah,
yeah, that's good. My whole background, I actually went to school for basically marketing. It was digital business and e-commerce. So, I mean, if it isn't evident in everything that I do now, like YouTube, our team stuff, that's just been my whole forte. And so Colin actually worked at the studio before I applied, and he was like, "Kel, you should just apply here," because I was just like working at odd places while we were, you know, getting the YouTube stuff up and working on some of this other stuff. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I applied, and I talked to Robert, same guy that hired me. And you know what's funny about Robert is he's like, when he called me, I think you listed me as a recommendation.
Yeah.
He's like, "So, I understand Colin is into competitive gaming. Is he an asshole?" He literally asked me that over the phone. He was like, "Is he one of those guys?" So this is someone that isn't really involved, and this is just a side story. This is someone that isn't really involved in the competitive scene, but because of dickheads in the fucking community, he thinks that all competitive players are assholes. And so his first question to me is Colin an asshole? Is he like a dickhead? You know, one of those competitive guys, like he talks shit nonstop, and I'm like, no, that's not him, not at all. He's like, okay. So that was like my little interview about him. Oh well, for Colin about him, reference. I just thought that was hilarious that someone completely outside of the industry thinks that about competitive players, which is crazy that we have that type of perception just in the industry as a whole.
It's pretty cool because the same guy got really interested in competitive gaming
exactly.
just a few months later after talking with me.
Yeah, like Colin was there, and then I got there, and like it seemed like the buzz about competitive stuff kind of picked up when we were there. They were asking us about Gears stuff. That was at the same time I was like traveling for Gears 3 when I did the commentary there, so they were watching that. It's really funny stuff, learning about that and just seeing the atmosphere. But anyway, so out of QA, the project for Sims actually got canceled. So our QA department basically got laid off, and then I mean I was working on loadout a little bit, but then we got called back, and so I got called back, and they're like, hey, you want to come back and work on loadout? And I was like, okay. I'll come do that. And so worked on loadout and then went to PAX East. And I was telling my QA lead, who is now Abe, was Abe, it's now Jared. Abe's now a producer.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, because of my connections, I guess, in the community, just in gaming in general, when we went to PAX, I had all these people coming up to me like, hey, Arctic, hey, you know, this hey, what's up? Yeah. This is a cool game. And so the creative director and the brand manager were like, how do you know all these people? And I was like, hey, this is my backstory. And then next thing I know, they're like, we fly back, and they're like, you're our community manager. I was like, sweet.
Which is what you wanted originally.
Which is what I wanted originally there. So it was like, hey, you know, we're working on this original game, and I was talking to Abe at the time. I was like, it'd be really cool if I could, you know, get the shoe in for this. And so that's how it worked out for me. You know, in our history, even before we went to Edge, like we helped Ilphonic with Nexus a little bit with some playtesting.
That was actually cool. They flew us out to Denver. Yeah. Flew our whole team out to Denver.
All of our team.
7 of us plus KC from MLG.
And Cloud.
And Cloud, yeah, James.
Yeah, so
they flew 8 of us out there to go play the game early. And it's a small, like, there were as many of us as there were developers. Like, that's how small a studio they were. And, like, yeah, that was the first time kind of giving direct feedback.
Yeah.
Besides, Quinn got us into the Gears 3 beta early.
Yeah.
And gave lots of feedback there.
I mean, Quinn, after we kind of told him that we were already in the industry, that kind of perked his interest in us. And so he was like, well, listen, we want you guys to kind of do this. And we ended up providing feedback on Gears 3. So,
yeah. I mean, I love it. Like, I was working at Dollar General before that. Then moved down to Austin, and then I've had 3 straight jobs at game companies. Yeah. And it's like,
you've been at Edge, Zynga
for 2 months, and then Certain Affinity for over a year and a half now.
Yeah, so
I love it.
I mean, it's really like if you love games, you love. First off, you have to have a pretty good work ethic. Like you can't just love games and just like want to play.
No.
I mean, you actually have to do work.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the thing that kind of weeds people out.
I just play games all day.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. You just play games all day.
Hey, you just play games all day.
Hey, Mom, I just got a job at or Grandma. Hey, Grandma, I just got a job at a game industry. Oh, you play games all day?
In reality, half my time I spent with Excel and Word open, writing shit up.
So that's my story. I mean, I can talk a little bit more about what I do probably in another video, but pretty much talks about us a little bit. That's not a bad chat topic. I'm cool with that.
Talking about ourselves.
Let's see. Let's look at this some more. I'm sorry, I made people think you were an asshole, Colin. Yeah.
Someone said
fucked up scoots. Is Quinn in here?
How to get your music into games? I have no idea.
What's that? How do you... How to get your music.
Tighten up those graphics on level 3, dog.
Oh yeah, I see Quinn.
Someone offered me a season pass. I'll pass on principle. That's right.
If you were offered... Wait. So no. Here's a good question for you, Colin. If they put a bomb game type into Gears of War Judgment,
And it was only through the season pass?
and it was only through season pass, would you then
That'd
get
be
it?
cruel.
Would you get it, though?
That'd be cruel.
That means you would get it, wouldn't
I'd
it?
have to, just because I've campaigned so much for it.
There you go.
On principle, I would have to.
If you want to win
man
back
up.
this fan, you will put a bomb game type in the game.
I think we're just Man at Arms DLC only. Can you play it?
DLC only.
Oh, it's gonna have like 50 people in a month.
The game doesn't have 50 people in a month, but the game is definitely losing popularity quickly. It's falling off a cliff.
I'll buy it for you on principle. Take it just in case.
Oh, a really cool thing. I got to mention this because I think EC Warrior 2 is the guy I need to be giving a shout out here. He's popped in my stream a couple times. I mentioned on my video a couple of videos ago that I didn't have the classic Hammer Burst, didn't pre-order. And I had literally, if you check my inbox on Xbox Live, YouTube, and just people tweeting me, like people were trying to send me codes. And one of my YouTube inboxes was from EC Warrior 2, and that's the only person I really recognized because he always pops in a lot of different stuff. He gave me a classic Hammer Burst code, so I was like...
I don't even know how I got mine.
That was pretty cool.
I just have one.
Really?
I don't know what I did.
I was pretty... I mean, you guys are pretty sweet to be, so involved with what, we do to give us some stuff because that was pretty sweet. I literally got like maybe 10, 15 messages from people like, here, I have extra.
Nice. Wow, that's a hell of a question. From Rabbit Tricks, will the future be NBA/NFL/NHL type management, where one company is the principal figure behind a game, a la the North American Star League, if they have the monopoly, or something like the PGA Tour or the Tennis Grand Slam, where the events vary with a few high-profile, prestigious tournaments? I think I've talked about this before. And actually I've heard Sundance from MLG talk about it. I've heard...
Sundance has talked about it a couple times.
I've heard Carmack...
Well, League is doing it now.
Yeah, but I've heard a bunch of different league owners, and a lot of times they'll reference the PGA Tour specifically and the Tennis Grand Slams as kind of the example of what they would consider the next step for competitive gaming.
Yeah, which is, it's very close to being there already in terms of like tennis or golf. It's really, really close.
I mean, realistically, with the thing about the NHL, NBA, NFL, those are kind of regional sports, and like those are North American leagues, like all three of those, obviously. I think that gaming is something that's always going to be international. I think it's always going to be global.
Right. And we actually saw the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB type thing with CGS. Failed miserably.
Well, that was their attempt to make it a global thing. Like, they had European and a Asian league.
Even still, like...
Yeah. It's never worked
Here's
far.
the thing. I think if it was to go NBA, NFL, those type structure, it would have to be the biggest PC teams in the world, and they would have to compete exclusively on things that they created themselves. They would literally have to create a league. So, e.g., Fnatic, Complexity, and they've already done this.
Technically, League of Legends, yeah.
I mean, League does it, kind of, but
I still wouldn't consider that
those
the esports
play.
leagues. It's just league. It's a league.
Right.
League of Legends league.
But all of the biggest teams would have to have some type of region, which none of them do. All the players are scattered all over the world. And, I mean, for the most part, people try to make houses, which we see, which I guess Korea has the model of that similar style.
Houses in Korea have been closing down too, though. It's hard to stay by
StarCraft.
Yeah.
It's just not as...
it's just, I haven't seen any real game due to the team house thing for an extended amount of time.
It's difficult.
There's some houses in Korea that have still been open for several years, but they've been closing too. Rabbit Chicks points out that the NBA does steal players from other countries, so does MLB for that matter. To a point where they all just relocate to the American leagues.
I don't think there is a league that doesn't do that at this point.
Yeah. With gaming being dominated by people in their teens, unlikely. I mean, there's nothing to keep a 16-year-old kid from being better than a 20-year-old, even if you made him play through college or something. I don't know. Like that's the hypothetical.
And I think we've had this discussion with Zach a couple times at eBash because he wants to create. He's like, why can't gaming be like high school, college pros. Like, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't match in line with the skills. There's no difference between a 14-year-old that can play from 3 o'clock till 2 a.m. versus a guy in his 20s. Or obviously, gaming so far has shown that you kind of peak out pretty early too.
Yeah.
In terms of reflexes. I don't see that happening. I think it'll always be kind of regional events and the occasional large international.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if there was like a league that could run a legitimate like World Cup type event where it's just massive and you have tons of people. I don't know. WCG was supposed to be that, but they failed.
I mean, Samsung doesn't want to.
WCG is essentially Samsung. Like WCG is Samsung.
So Samsung's like, I'm tired of throwing money at this.
Their business seemed like had a lot of waste in general. I think the fact that they flew us out to China to play Redstone is an example of the waste. But true. I will happily accept the trip, as Scoots will attest to in chat.
You guys play the weirdest ass fucking games.
I got a free trip to Germany and a free trip to China off of it, so I'll take it. How long before gaming gets enough organization to get back on TV successfully?
I don't think.
I agree with Sundance that it doesn't need to be on TV.
It doesn't need to be on TV. The medium doesn't fit that specific route for media. That's pretty much it. Well, sports don't need to be developed really.
At some point they did.
Yeah.
It's weird that I think gaming's growing faster than the early sports did. Obviously, largely to the benefit of the internet.
You gotta think about how long sports have. I mean,
like football is only like
150,
200 years in American football?
Most of the sports.
150?
It's pretty long, but even before that, there were probably forms of the game that didn't have official rules that they were like, you take this ball, you score here, and then it just became more organized.
As far as like as an organized league, I think that even from that point, like the original teams. I mean, think about it, like NFL started off, I think there's only 4 teams in the league.
Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't the NFL at the time, but
to be honest,
they started with 4 teams, and
to be honest, gaming teams and players need to have people like Mark Cuban who really are interested in tech, take an interest in esports, and then have a group of them, billionaires, literally billionaires, figure out, is this something viable? And have you seen Sundance tweet at Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
I think he's talked to him. I think they're somewhat friends.
Really?
Yeah. From what I understand.
So, it literally would take like a lot of people saying, or the publishers or something like that saying, we're going to Activision like Microsoft and Sony, we're going to make these leagues.
If some sponsors or like you said, financial backing, like wanted to throw themselves behind one league and just like at a loss for a while, then I guess it's a possibility. I don't think you would ever like completely get rid of competing overseas. Not when you'd have to take up their time full time. Like you have to have those teams forced to stay in America or wherever you wanted to headquarters the entire season, and then they wouldn't be able to play anywhere else as a result.
Be pretty difficult.
But as of now, people are just flying back and forth. So if something's close to you, you're going to go to that tournament.
Yeah. What time is it? 9:15, I think. I think that we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah. So, trying to see if there's anything else you guys want us to quickly hit over before, maybe possibly some quick questions in the chat before we wrap this episode up. Next week, no Gears. I don't care if they announced that they're dropping a Gears game type, bomb game type. We're not talking about Gears of War.
We'd have to.
No.
I guess we could do a bonus show. That's its own separate thing.
Bonus show.
So we do episode 13, and then an hour later do episode 14, and then we can talk about it. Just to follow that. And then we have people in the chat the whole time like, guys, why aren't you talking about this? But yeah, I agree. No Gears next week.
No Gears next week.
No Gears next week.
This is not a Gears show, but we spent 40 minutes on that, and I wanted to talk about some other stuff.
And we upload Active Reload every week to the channel anyways.
Active Reload is tomorrow, so...
So many better games I want people to go play.
Yeah, I mean, I really do.
And I'm saying that objectively. There are so many better games I want you all to go play and check out and watch streams and have fun.
Be involved and don't just watch one game and all that stuff.
There you go. I agree with Scoots. We can talk Carom for the first 20 minutes next week. I can discuss my pool strategy, my virtual pool strategy.
The people in Brazil are unbeatable in South America.
South Korea hasn't beat.
No. The dude from South America is the champ.
Yeah, because they added snooker.
Doesn't matter. He's the best player. Are you guys hyped for Dead Island? No. Or Metro coming out the next few weeks. What is Metro? I don't know that one.
I played it. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not excited for it. I haven't even seen any content for it really. See,
I saw Call of War as Gunslinger. Did you see gameplay for that?
I watched the trailer on Xbox. It's gonna be awful. There's like no good games coming out the next month or two.
Injustice was the last good game, dude. That's why I picked it up. And I tried to get you to pick it up.
Nope.
But no.
I still have like 100 PC betas. Actually, just got a beta invite to.
Give us names of these better games. He's gonna give you all PC games. That's why he's laughing right now, because he knows it's true.
Here's what we'll do. Next week's show, the first 20 minutes, talk about games that are better than Gears of War that you should be playing.
But
that's still not talking about Gears, right?
Yeah, that is.
All right, I'll say like games better than the game that will not be named that you could be playing right now. Infinite Crisis.
Is that what we're gonna name the chat topic? Games better than the game
that will not be named. We're actually have a bigger topic box.
Did you get bored of XCOM Enemy Unknown?
Yeah, I might give it another try when it's on iPhone, iOS, because I think it lends itself a lot better to that than sitting at my computer doing a turn-based game. Same reason I have trouble playing Civ. Like, it's just kind of slow.
Oh, a movie. Let's end on a movie that we're interested in watching, or that you've seen.
Thor trailer came out just today.
It did.
Thor: The Dark World, I believe, is the name. Is the full title. Actually, it's funny because I just watched Thor again last night on Netflix.
Did I tell you I watched it like 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
I felt like watching. I was like,
that's probably the exact reason. Yeah.
I was like, I feel like watching some Thor, so I just.
I've always liked the series. I love Roman, Greek, Norse gods. Yeah. Like, I'm a huge God of War fan for that same reason.
That's probably the reason we love Smite, which makes me want to go play right now.
When I was a kid, like 10 to 14, I had a big book on Roman history that I went through. I played Rome Total War. I played Praetorians.
Yeah.
So, like, all the old, like, ancient god stuff just gets me real interested. And I even named my cat Loki. My cat's name is Loki. So, like, yeah, I'm super pumped. The trailer looks sick. I think Thor's a little cheesy, like their incarnation of him. I think he's a little bit cheesy, but the rest of it's good.
I think
it makes sense for his character.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give that.
Odin's the shit, though.
Odin. Yeah. Well, you know why? It's fucking Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah.
How can he not
How can he not be the shit?
He's Anthony Hopkins. Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty good. Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3
coming out. It's what you can't say.
Iron Man 2 was basically the same movie as the first one, or the same movie. Sorry, the same movie as Avengers. In my opinion, it was all the same.
Well, Robert Downey.
I'm getting tired of being the same thing over and over.
The issue is that Robert Downey Jr. dominates the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you can't really compare to him because his personality for that specific character is more obnoxious and more. Yeah.
Which I like the first one because he was kind of like down to earth. Like he was at his lowest. He's at his lowest. He didn't have the suit. He was stuck in the cave.
Building.
That's about as low. Yeah, but that's as low as he gets.
Wait.
Outside of the actual Robert Downey Jr. and his lowest. Just say, like, in Avengers, he was invincible.
Hold on.
Avengers, he was invincible. Iron Man 2,
I gotta give you the EA face.
compared to Avenger, Iron Man 2? Iron Man 2 was
compared to Avenger, like he was just
Avengers, he was
over the top. Like,
yeah. So I think it's gonna be the same. Like I've seen I've seen the trailers. He has like 4 or 5 different suits in this movie. He's just gonna be like going into a wardrobe change over and over.
100.
Yeah, he's been going into wardrobe change every 5 minutes. Just like, hold on 1 second, let me get the other suit. Hulk suit.
Avengers is probably the best. You know what? I went on a superhero tangent. I'm gonna just tell you guys a couple of things. I watched Fantastic Four. Then I watched Rise of the Silver Surfer. Those are bad movies. Those are bad superhero movies.
So is Captain America.
Captain America isn't. It's not bad though. It's not bad. It's just like
It was
It's
mediocre.
not what
It wasn't interesting.
Right. It's not like a comic book movie translation like I would like. Avengers was fucking a sick ass comic to like the humor was there. The characters for the most part, except for Robert Downey, right? You take out Robert Downey, and it was like the characters there were like, yeah, I could get interested in all of them working together. Well, Hawkeye, the issue is he doesn't have
Captain
a story.
America. Like,
He's already having this movie though.
yeah.
I mean, and there's some people that probably like that. Like, it was kind of gritty. It was kind of a gritty movie.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I was like,
I don't know.
I don't have a problem with it. Now Hulk, like, there's no saving the Hulk. Both movies have been not very good.
They're supposed to do another one, aren't they? Like a actual Hulk movie.
Yeah, and I'm just not. Someone keeps saying Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. It actually looks good. I am a big Zack Snyder fan. One of my favorite movies is Sucker Punch.
We talked about. I think
Which
we talked
I talked about how Sucker Punch is basically a video game movie.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like they're even set up into levels, like fantasy level. You know, I recommend watching it. Just lower your expectation. Ignore I recommended it to you, and then go watch it. So yeah, I think
Sick ass.
Zack Snyder probably kill it.
Thor mediocre. Someone said Thor's mediocre. Oh man. Captain America was a little bit better. Limelight's killing it.
See, already someone's like, "Oh, that was a terrible bad movie," and then someone else says Sucker Punch is excellent.
Sucker Punch is really like polarizing. I watched.
Oh, they said one of the best bad movies ever.
It was really hard for me to watch that.
Yeah, it's very polarizing, and I've watched it maybe like 4 or 5 different times now.
Christopher Reeves is spinning in his wheelchair each time a new superhero or Superman movie is made. I want to laugh at that, but I can't because she had the wheelchair in there. I can't laugh. It's funny though.
I think we can go and kill it then.
Yeah,
We good?
pretty good.
All right. Next week I'll have my PC, so I'll be back to the
Google Chat.
Google Chat cam.
And I promised.
we might just need to do 2 cams, like abandon the Google Chat thing. Specifically because the focus thing. The focus thing drives me insane watching the broadcast.
broadcast replay.
So it's like it switches cameras and it takes a second to focus.
What we need to do is get Quinn to get on the show and talk about some Halo.
Yeah.
Since he's in the chat. Quinn, you should talk about some Halo with us.
Talk about Gears,
You can talk. No.
but not next week.
No, we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about Gears with Quinn right now. We just want to talk about Halo. How about that? Yeah,
I think in general we should start getting some more people on.
Yeah.
I think,
definitely. I think at this point,
starting to get the format down.
yeah, at this point, I'm going to
Carry it
start
on our
talking
backs
to
if we
some
have
of
to.
the Twitch guys because this is our 12th episode straight. We have not missed an episode, so the consistency is there. We got our flow down, and I think it's time to start rolling in the guests. What's 187 that shit? All right, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this show. We will not be talking about Gears next week,
No Gears.
but we'll catch you guys later. Adios.
Thanks for watching, guys.